I have here is some supplemental heat from my beehives. I don't like the thought of losing my bees over the winter. I don't like my colonies dying out. So I looked around and I found these flex watt reptile heaters. They're made to go in the bottom of a reptile cage. And they're designed for the reptiles to lay right over top of these so they don't get hot enough to hurt anything. They don't get hot enough to hurt the bees. They run at about 80 degrees. A piece this length that draws about 6 watts, so it doesn't use a lot of power either. You don't have to worry about overloading your electrical cords or anything. You can hook a bunch of them together. I use light, cheap extension cords to connect the different hives together. It comes in a roll like this. You buy it by the foot and you cut it to length, and you have to connect the wires there. You can get connectors for them. I buy these cords made up with connectors on them, and you just crimp them on the ends. There's a conducting strip down the ends. You crimp into that, and then I get these little insulators here too. They're like a rubber material. The bees do chew this, so you have to tape over it. I put electrical tape over it. The bees don't chew the electrical tape, but they'll chew this rubber insulator material. And you need to tape both ends, because when you cut this, it leaves a part of the strip exposed on the ends. So you need to tape that over so that you don't have a shock hazard there. And yeah, on this end you'll tape the connectors. But yeah, I just drilled some holes in a plastic frame foundation here and used zip ties and fastened it on there, and it worked real good last year. I used it last year. I put it in 5 hives. We had a really harsh winter last year, and it did really good. I had nice strong hives. I had 5 good strong hives in the spring that had good bees in them, lots of bees. And I was real happy with that. It was so cold last year and a lot of people lost their hives, but apparently this made the difference with mine. And if my bees are surviving, I'm happy. I don't like losing bees. I didn't see that it made a lot of difference where you put them, but it probably is best. I try to put them in the bottom box. In the fall, of course, you'll set up your hives, you'll rotate so you have your brood down near the bottom, and I'll put these somewhere close to the brood, and so that I have honey on top. If I put my brood down in the bottom box here and then put the top super on here with honey, make sure that one of these is under the honey, so in the winter time when they're going up to the honey, they're over this heat. That's going to provide some heat up here, make it easier for them to go up and get some honey, get food in the winter time. I do use a controller. I use a thermostat. I put just an empty honey super on top of the hive cover, and then put another cover on that to keep the thermostat to control this out of the weather. I run my thermostat it comes on at 37 degrees and it goes off at 40 degrees. I don't think it's real critical. I don't think you'd have a problem using these if you just plugged them in when it got cold. And they're not very expensive. I think I have about $10 per hive. I know these cords are about $5, and it's about that for the strip. So they're not very expensive, and if they work good, if it saves you whatever a package is, over $100, let's say $100 saving you for a package to replace them, it's well worth that.